Good afternoon, Bloomington. It is Friday at 3:02 p.m. You're listening to WAOX LP Bloomington, and this is Growing Pains, the show where we do a lot of cool things, including interviewing local artists. I'm finally joined in the studio with Connor. Say hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. We're here to talk about your most recent release.
Yes.
Candy Rain. Came out the
Candy
3rd. I'm just excited to listen to it. I feel like this has been a long time coming. You've been playing the song for a long time at your shows.
Yeah.
What does it mean to finally have it out?
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's the one that everyone really likes at shows. So, I knew that the recording was really cool. So I was like, man, I just can't wait for people to finally hear it, and everyone seems to really love it. So, the response has been great, and I can't wait to play it tonight at the Atrium show. It's going to be really fun. We've got kind of this little special thing planned for to really make it feel like Candy Rain. So.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
To encourage people to head to the Atrium tonight. Yeah, that's very exciting. I am going to be so honest with you. I thought it was a cover the whole time you were playing it. I had no idea it was your song.
Really?
You were like, I'm coming out with it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So it fits right into the rest of your music, into the rest of the stuff you play. Which is exciting.
Thank you. Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the recording process? Because I know you worked with some important people to make this happen.
Yeah, it was produced by Ben Queller and mixed by him and this guy named Dan Goebel, we call Lil Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And the song was written by me and my brother. He was playing guitar one day, and I walked by his room, and he was playing the verse of Candy Rain. And I was like, there's no way you wrote that. And he was like, no, I came up with this, man. And I sat down and started writing some words out, and 20 or 30 minutes later, we had mostly what you hear what Candy Rain is. It was originally about a pill addict, but then that changed into just about kind of general escaping, which seemed more uniform, and I liked it more. So, yeah, that was kind of how we wrote it. And then when we recorded it, we just put everything to 11 on the amps, so that's why it just sounds so loud on the guitars. We literally had this 25 or 30-year-old Marshall that was just everything was to 11, mid, low, high, all of it. And that was really fun to record. It was a great day. I'd been practicing singing that a lot because I knew it was going to take a lot to really be able to yell like that. So it was really fun recording that, and I didn't really expect to have it have as much of a groove as it did on the verses with the bass part. But it was a really fun process.
Yeah. Was there any internal pressure to make the song the best it could in the recorded version because you'd been playing it for so long and people knew what it was going to sound like somewhat?
Yeah, I would say so. The original version had more of it was more about the guitars and less about the vocal. Mm-hmm. And once I started playing it at shows and seeing how much people resonated with the words, it was we need to make more of it about the words, and make it more about, singing. And singing along with what's being sung. So we really tried to change the guitars into more of a ambient reverby kind of thing where it feels more than is heard. And that was definitely something that was stressful. It's I think it's one of the 2 or 3 greatest songs I've written. So there was a lot of it's got to sound that way when it's recorded. And I feel like we got that. So I'm really happy with it. And yeah, it's really cool. We broke a bunch of rules with recording it. On the chorus, the choruses are 2 BPM faster than the verses, and I think the solo, it gets faster. As the song goes on, it just kind of gets faster. Mm-hmm. But we were using a click the whole time, so we just kind of broke a lot of rules, and it was super fun working with Ben on that because he just kept saying, Candy Rain, dude, Candy Rain. You got to emphasize the rain.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think we should just go ahead and listen to it.
Yeah.
Everyone, this is Candy Rain, Connor McLaren. Enjoy.
Torn to shrivels, blasted out, so many thrills, but always a drought. Never easy, everything 'cause I'm out of defense to the constant need. Seems there's more to gain than to be stained in pain. Become what you hate to see. And I think my brain is screaming for another way to swallow the fixing. To the top of the sky, to reach the sun, where there's no pain. Candy rain, candy rain. Whoa, whoa. And I think my brain is screaming for another way to swallow the fixing. To the top of the sky, to reach the sun, where there's no pain. Candy rain, candy rain. Whoa, whoa. Candy rain, candy rain. Whoa,
And we're back. That was Candy Rain, Connor McLaren.
Candy rain.
Candy Rain. You've actually been on the show before. You're a returning guest.
Yes, thank you for having me back.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And yeah, some new stuff has dropped since you were last on in October. I'm wondering, New Year, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Yes, I had a couple. One was don't judge what I'm writing. That was a big one for me. And then start working out, which I failed. I have been so busy. I haven't been able to keep it like going. And then I would say the third one. There was another one that was pretty big. Oh, yeah. Being more open to talk to people. I'm going to have to talk to a lot of people, I think, in this profession, so I need to be more open to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I've been pretty good about that, too.
2 out of 3 is not
Yeah.
a bad...
Yeah, right? 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
There's probably 15 others that I'm missing that I didn't do, you know?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Coming into the new year, though, did you, like, you've played a lot of shows since you've been on, at the Bluebird in Indy. I think you're in Nashville and Chicago, maybe?
Yeah, yep.
Like, what's that been like? Has it ramped up a little bit? Or are you just kind of keeping the momentum going?
Yeah, it's definitely... The shows is definitely ramped up. Like, I have a show every single week until May, starting this week.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a lot of shows.
That's a lot of shows.
And, like, I've got a tour set up for April, and the album's getting released on vinyl in April. Yeah, I mean, like, it's definitely a lot more intense than it was in October. I obviously feel like the momentum could be bigger, but it's been really cool. Like, we got to play at Shubas Tavern, which I've been hearing a lot about for years, and that's a really cool venue in Chicago. And to play the East Room in Nashville was really cool. Like, I've been hearing about the East Room forever, and I never got to play in Nashville before, so the fact that I got to play in Nashville was just something that was really surreal. Mm-hmm. And yeah, no, it's been really cool traveling around. I love traveling, and playing music for people just traveling around is just really fun. So I'm excited to do it. I've got I think 14 shows in 5 states set up.
Crazy.
I just got to post the flyer now.
Yeah, right.
That's the hardest part.
I know, that little flyer. That's awesome, though, to hear. Can you talk a little bit more about the album and what we can expect from that?
Yeah. I'll have it on vinyl, which is really cool.
Mm.
I'm going to do a yellow vinyl, like a lemon berry colored vinyl. So I'm really excited about that.
Awesome.
I think we're going to do one more single, and then it comes out in April. We're going to do a single like in mid to late March, and then the album drops.
Okay.
And it's 10 songs. It's called Innocence. And I've been working on it since I was 15, so I'm very excited for it to finally get released.
I know. That's a lot of years adding up on this album, so I bet that will feel really good.
Yep, definitely.
Are the five songs out now? Will they all be included on?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep, all 5 will. And then the next one, the 6th one, will also be on the record. And then, there'll be 4 more to check out.
Mm-hmm. How do you think as you're like working on all these songs, how do you think your approach to writing them and making them has changed like since you were 15?
Oh, it's changed a couple times over. I would say 15-year-old Connor didn't think he could do it, and then 18-year-old Connor thought he could do it and thought it was really important, and I would say the guy now just thinks it's all ridiculous. And that's kind of how I approach it, just like if the song has to be ridiculous to me for it to be I think ridiculous to others. And ridiculous is just kind of like that can be a really good thing or it can be a bad thing. Like some people think Candy Rain is like awesome, but some people are like, man, this song is like very dirty, it's not their kind of vibe. So it kind of just depends on what's going on. But that's kind of what I concluded after making the record, at least, was that all the songs that made it onto the record were had really weird storylines, or they were really weird songs. And I think that's just something that I'm going to continue to chase because you got to turn heads somehow.
Exactly. Yeah. So that you have all these shows lined up, the album's scheduled to be released. Are you making new material now that will come out post-album, or are you really just focusing on like this leg of you and of your stuff?
I was just talking with David, my drummer, about it, about like what kind of drum parts for the next album I was going to do, because I think I have most of it done. Probably I have like a quarter of it that's going to be on the final album done, but I have like at least 30 to 40 songs I've written since the record's been recorded, and I think there's probably at least 10 good ones out of there. But if there's not, I'm probably going to write 20 to 30 more before I decide to go record anything. So, but I'm in the process of making a record right now. I just haven't gotten into the recording phase yet. Still trying to make sure the words are all good and stuff, and find out which ones people like before I go and record. I always use my parents for that. My mom will just be like, no, that's a bad song. And I love it. It's great. I need that. And she'll be like, that one's pretty good. I like that one. And that she's really straight up about it because she's been hearing it since I was 15. She doesn't really care about what ones other people are going to like. She just tells me what she likes. So I kind of go off of that. But I've been writing a ton of new material. I think I have a new album.
I would say 30 to 40 songs. There's got to be a good enough grouping of them in there somewhere. That's really exciting, though. Yeah.
The last album took it was at 100 or 150 songs, but that's kind of how I think all of them are going to be. I just have to write. I try to write at least 3 to 4 times a week, and then eventually I can tell myself which ones I didn't and did like. I don't need to do that right now. That's something that I find important. Just enjoy the process of writing. Don't reflect on it.
Yeah.
That's
a really that's a cool way of approaching things. I think for some people it can be they write a song and that's the song and there's nothing else. Yeah. But it's cool that you're just writing and the good stuff floats to the top. It seems like, but yeah. Wow. I'm wondering, we're nearing the end of our time here, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm wondering if you had any, I think I asked you this last time you were on, but if you had any advice for the aspiring songwriter / performer, what would you tell them? Yeah, what would you tell them? Yeah.
I would say the songwriter, write as many bad songs as you can, and take that as literally as you want to. Just literally try to write as many bad songs as you can. You'll have the rest of your life to write the good ones. Get all the bad ones out. Figure out all the nicks and crannies of structure, and just test stuff out. Never treat anything like it's going on an album or going to be released. Always a practice song. And then for just aspiring music people, I would say you got to be really friendly. The thing that separates the greats is that they're all really easy to talk to. A lot of the connections I make is because I think people enjoy hanging out with me. So that's at least why a couple people that I really look up to are taking me on their tours, because they're just like, you're a cool guy. I like what you're doing. I would love to, to be a part of that and help you out. And you have to be such a nice person or generous enough that people give that generosity back and just trust that process. Mm-hmm. And the last thing I would say is Kobe Bryant is always working harder. So you can always do more. Like, I'm always just like, man, if I was competing against myself, what would myself be doing? How could I beat him? Like, how can I be better than what I'm already doing? I try to as much as I can. 'Cause I know that there's musicians out there that are working harder than me, that can sing better than me, that can write better songs than me, can do everything better than me. Mm-hmm. So the only thing I can really rely on is if I try the hardest I can, I won't look back and go, man, I could have done this or this, Mm-hmm. So that would be my advice. Sorry, that was a lot.
No, that's great. Anything you can divulge is incredible. Yeah, it's been great talking to you and playing Candy Rain.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me, and can't wait to see you tonight.
I know, I'll see you tonight, and everyone else, maybe we'll see you there too at the Atrium, 10 p.m., 18 plus.
18 plus, yeah. Get your tickets online. Cannot get them at the door.
Get your tickets online. It'll be West Head Mindfully Blind, Connor McLaren. So hopefully we'll see you all there tonight. But this wraps up our time with Connor. We're about to hear from Ad Astra and listen to their single episode, but thank you all so much for tuning in already. And we'll be right back with a new group. See ya. And we're back, this time with Ad Astra. Say hello.
How's it going?
What's up?
Hi.
I'm Reader.
I'm Nathan.
Hi, you guys. Sorry to cut in, but thank you all so much for being here. We're here today to listen to your recent single episode. But if you could let us know who you are, what it is that you play and do in the band before we get to listening, I would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Nathan. I'm originally from the Indianapolis area, and Reader brought me on about, 2 years now, to record and produce his music. So I'll give him a little second to talk about what Ad Astra means to him.
Ad Astra? What it means to me? That's a funny little question from my colleague over here. I don't know. I just like making music, and I like listening to a lot of music, so I just threw all of it together and made Nathan produce my stuff, and it worked out pretty well. So it's pretty fun. What does it mean to me? I don't know. Nothing.
That's really inspiring.
That's actually beautiful in several ways. Maybe we'll discover what it means as we progress through this show. But I'm curious because you guys have been around. You released an EP, self-titled EP in 2021. So you guys have been around for a minute. When did this begin? How long have you guys known each other? And I think there are other people involved, but are they still currently involved?
It's hard to say. I just ask people to do things, and then sometimes they agree and sometimes they don't. But this EP, or the main backing behind all of Ad Astra, is Nathan and I together, and that's kind of what makes it actually a good thing and consistent. Mm-hmm. Because Nathan and I have been friends for probably just over 10 years now, and
happy anniversary.
Yeah, thanks. And we've been making music since, start of middle school, so.
Yeah, I mean, Reader, the first time I met him was when his mom asked my mom to get me to the bus stop and get me to school and get me home. So Reader's been kind of forced into a friendship with me for the past 10 years. Obviously, there's something that's like keeping it going, or else, you know, we wouldn't be here. But then he forced me back into his music, which I'm totally cool with. I mean, I'm here because I believe in like what he's doing. We've been making music ever since, I think, band class in 6th grade. Rita played the trombone, I played the saxophone. Since then, I've, fleshed out my music abilities. We're both students at the Jacob School of Music for audio engineering and sound production. And in that story, I suppose, around high school, I picked up some audio gear and started learning how to produce music and record. My first production experience was with another Bloomington artist named Tucker Ransom. He also went to our high school just out of Indianapolis as well. And so when Reader came to me in what would be the summer of 2021, I was just coming off of a rejection from the audio program here in Bloomington. And so as a bit of a, what does it matter that I didn't get into this school that I want to go to for this career that I want to do? What's the big deal? We decided to record some music in his mom's living room. And that was the EP. There's 5 songs out on Spotify and iTunes now. It's our self-titled EP called Ad Astra by Ad Astra. And they are what they are. I mean, it's art in some way. Like, it's imperfect. And we can never go back and change necessarily what all we did like 2 years ago when we were less experienced, when we didn't know what we were doing, when Reader was just a few years into like writing music and I was just a few years into producing and engineering and mixing and mastering and publishing and all those things. So it's been exciting to see like the progression of that story. And so now in Bloomington, we're both pursuing audio at the Jacob School of Music and both working on Ad Astra. Particularly this semester, I mean, we're back to back with stuff. We got a single coming out, or actually a single released 5 days ago episode. We're about to listen to it, and then an album shortly, and some other things after that we've yet to announce. So,
yeah, this month is the most I've ever worked on anything for no money in my entire life, but it's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's exciting, and you know what? All the hard work for free eventually does pay off. Sometimes fiscally, sometimes like internally, and so I'm excited for that payoff for you. And it feels like you already have it because you have this music that you wanted to share.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
That's true. Payoff is right in this moment. So.
Right in this moment.
You put music out, because you want people to hear what you have to say, not necessarily because you want them to like pay for it. I mean, that's a great side effect of it. And
that'd be nice. Yeah.
But, I mean, in the industry, the way the music industry is now, nobody's paying for the music appropriately. But that's for another radio show, right?
Or, honestly, I could get into that as well. Maybe after we have that convo after this song. But, no, you're right. Absolutely. Yeah, and especially in college, a lot of it, I think, it's all passion projects. And that's what makes it so exciting to listen to, because you really know that people cared enough to do all of this stuff for free. So I think with that, if you guys wanted to listen to episode, that would be the time to do it, so we can finally hear what you guys have been putting all this work into. This is episode by Ad Astra. Enjoy.
Seems there is only void, seeking nothing within us.
back. That was episode Ad Astra. How does it feel to listen to it?
It's great listening to it for the 1700th time.
Mm-hmm.
Still sounds pretty good. I didn't do the mix of this one. Nathan did because he's the GOAT.
Yes, sir.
Stands for greatest of all time for those who don't know. And he's the greatest of all time at many things, including mixing.
I also make a mean rack of ribs occasionally.
That's true.
Rita would
The other
know.
day.
We just had ribs for dinner on Tuesday
It was really good.
with mac and cheese and
Just
Caesar
Tuesday?
salad.
It was kind of thin though.
My girlfriend and I and Rita.
Okay.
Yep.
What were you doing there, Peter?
I was hungry. I was invited.
Okay.
Okay, by his girlfriend.
Reader blesses us
Oh.
with his wonderful music, his awesome writing, his chords, his lyrics, his keys, and then I give him ribs. So
That feels fair.
it's a bit of a trade,
Yeah.
but I'm cool with it.
What's that, parasocial?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, there's a lot going on in the song. A really cool guitar solo that, Nathan, you played.
Yes.
A little horn moment kind of early on, and some really cool just like synthy stuff. Could you explain to the listener how you made all these sounds appear?
Okay, so obviously Nathan played all the guitars. He played the bass on this song. Got our friend Braden Janes, better known as
Shout out.
Brandon Jones. Braden Janes. Okay, we got him to play drums. He's the best drummer I know. He's the best drummer I've ever met in my life. So locked in the drums, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Check.
As far as horns go, we have 2 saxophone players on this song. Those are our friends from back home, Connor Bigler, Ben Wilk, on alto sax and tenor sax, respectively. They each get a little solo in there before the chorus really comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they play on the end with the whole unison thing.
Shout out to Robert Herberta.
Robert
He's
Harbutter.
another IU trumpet student. Played on the unison part at the end. But yeah, they all came together. I mean, like none of the song was really tracked at the same time. I mean, the only thing that was tracked at the same time was Reader's keys, Reader's like scratch vocal, Braden Janes on the drums, and then myself on bass. And we did that in his basement, in
Braden's basement.
in Braden's basement. Yeah. So a bit of a diversion from Reader's mom's living room from the first project, but. We did the trio in Braden's basement, and then some of the work here in Bloomington, and then stuff out of like my apartment and stuff out of Reader's apartment. I mean, that's the beauty of like digital audio these days. Is like you can make a record just about anywhere. So, I mean, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. And there's somebody else singing on it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I forget about that often. Like, I mean, I don't really listen to lyrics enough. I don't write them. I don't listen to lyrics when I listen to songs. It's sometimes funny. Like I'll send someone a song and be like, "This is a cool song." And they'll be like, "That's a really depressing thought that they're talking about in the song." I'm like, I had no idea. I just like the way it sounds. I mean, because that's all I'm concerned about is like the mix and how it sounds and the production and the instrumentation. But yeah, the other singer is her name's Emma Hornbecker. She goes to Lebanon High School just outside of Indianapolis. And she's in theater. Really,
She gets all the top roles. Seriously, every lead role I've seen her get, it's mental. Yeah.
Yeah, she's. I mean, she's insane. So a lot of the stuff for her, like we just pulled her into the studio and set her up, and I think the first or second take on most things were what we got. And then Reader has a couple harmonies behind that. But other than that, it's a fairly simple workflow that we got. We, sit down, do the trio, do the dubs of all the other parts. I'll dub guitar because we don't have a dedicated bassist currently. And then Reader goes back in his bedroom and puts in all the synths, and then I mix and master it, and that's that.
Cool. What were you thinking about, like lyrically? I know Nathan doesn't care, but
I do not care.
What was I thinking when I wrote this? Is sort of what I got. Well, I don't know. Well, it's okay. The song's about it. I mean, it's describing what depressive episodes are like, basically. So, in the moment that I wrote the song, I was having a depressive episode, and I was like, this is what it feels like. and it's really just the feeling of being stagnant. Not, and I mean, if you don't reach out to try and take yourself, if you don't reach out and grab onto anything, trying to take yourself out of that episode, you're not gonna move. There is no, what did I say in the song? There's nothing happening. I don't know. There's no story to it. But if you grab onto something and like try and pull yourself out, you're creating a story. You're going to reach a climax and like have exposition and all this.
Exposition, action, climax.
Exposition, action, and climax. That's what I said in the song. Memorize that. Yeah, it's just about trying to get out of a depressive episode. And I mean, the way I do that personally is just by writing. Because writing is inspiring to me, and that brings me joy. So if I can turn something that's giving me pain into joy, I feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Cool. That's awesome. I think it's an interesting juxtaposition because, like, I was paying attention to the lyrics, of course, but I don't think until you explained it, it really hit me how, like, deep the song is, because it does have, it's pretty happy sounding and there's a lot of stuff going on. So that's a cool juxtaposition to have. Was that an intentional thing, or is it just like that's how you make music and that's what it sounds like? And yeah.
No, I just like the riff.
Yeah.
I just like the riffs. They felt good to play and it felt good to sing. So
yeah,
it just happened the way it happened.
The song doesn't have to be like minor for it to be a sad song, and it doesn't have to be major for it to be a happy song. Like, I think it's kind of I would rather the music just be an authentic like inspiration off of whatever you're feeling in the moment, rather than like, oh, I have to stick within these conventions and this key and all of that to get the lyrical idea across. The music in that way like would definitely serve the lyrics, but I think it can be the other way around if you want. I think a lot of the lyrics and a lot of the melodies in episode are originally kind of minor, but then the minor third switches to a major third, putting it more of like what we would call traditionally like a happy context, which here I go, like breaking the rules that I set out myself. But maybe that happens to be because like if you do grab a hold of something and do write your own story and do see that out, then your episode might turn out better than you thought it did.
Bars.
This is why he doesn't write the lyrics.
I'm supposing.
Oh my God. No, that was very well
See,
said.
I do care about the lyrics. I do care.
He does care.
I care about the music.
Maybe that was the point all along.
Maybe.
Yeah, is that you grow to care as you work on things. And yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
We're just spitballing here. I would love to play another one of your songs before. How do we feel about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thumbs up? Okay.
Absolutely.
I got a face from Reader, so.
No, it was more like I'm excited.
Okay, awesome.
I haven't heard this one in a minute.
Okay, this is Spaceman.
Uh-huh.
From your self-titled EP. Any preliminary thoughts about this one, or should we just?
It might break your radio. The intro on it is quite loud. A lot of sub bass, but no big. So, yeah. I mean, in hindsight, like it's definitely one of the better songs we put together.
Yeah, I think it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written, just because of its simplicity and the meaning behind it. Really isn't like, you can look into it if you want, but it's really not all that crazy. It's just fun. It's just fun to sing.
It's just an exciting song.
Cool. Well, we're going to listen to Spaceman, Ad Astra. Enjoy.
Space, and I can't wait. Been training for so long. Count down and hold on. Slingshot into orbit. It's gonna be a while, but I feel content.
And we're back. That was Spaceman, Ad Astra. You guys were chatting during it, but how do you feel listening to it? No.
It's definitely a flashback. I mean, this is like 2 years ago now, 2021. This came out of like, we did a summer of just recording some songs in Reader's living room with like no formal education. So it's really neat to see like, I didn't initially come to Bloomington in 2021 to study. I went elsewhere, and Reader came here, and like we kind of departed, I suppose, for about a year. And during that, Reader's been working on all the music that has led up to Episode, the single. And then we'll be putting out an album soon, I believe. I mean, I guess we can informally announce, like it's in March, right?
Beginning of March?
Yeah, beginning of March, depending on whenever I get everything like finished. You spent a lot of time of writing everything. And then I spent a lot of work at the end of the process, like just putting everything together. So eventually it like sums and makes one whole production. Any thoughts, Reader?
Yeah, you like derailed. So space.
That's my bad. Well, I knew there was a train of thought somewhere there, but I didn't follow it through.
Well, I'm just gonna talk about Spaceman because Spaceman's cool.
You can do that.
How's that? Spaceman is sick.
Period.
That's the whole feeling I get from listening to Spaceman. I took inspiration from Alice in Chains, one of my favorite artists of all time. Created my favorite album of all time, Dirt. On the ending there, because it's like, you know, it's bluesy. You have all these different vocal harmonies. I don't know. I kind of tried to sound like Lane Staley, the lead singer of Alice in Chains.
Well, and there's dissonant harmonies too.
Yeah,
It's
dissonant
kind of an Alice in
harmonies. They're
Chains
not
thing.
really perfectly in line with each other or anything. That's kind of the point.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like listening to that part because I think it kind of sounds like Alice in Chains, and it makes me really happy.
Yeah. Also, Reader and I just met today, but something that I knew about Reader is that you can throat sing.
Oh.
And you
Okay.
We don't have to dive into it. I'm just saying I listen.
No, we have
I'll
to.
just do it
Okay.
if you want.
Just a little format
Yeah,
on there.
that's all. Go ahead.
I have not done it at all today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good enough.
So that's pretty cool. Thank you for the demonstration.
I'm vibrating.
Yeah. We're like out of time, so we might have to end the show on that. But
That's funny.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's really good.
Yeah, no, thank you for that live demonstration. Thank you for coming on and talking about Episode. It sounds like there's more we can expect from you coming March, if Nathan can.
Yep, if I can get
it.
my stuff together. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But it was great talking to you all. Really great. So thank you all for coming on. To all the listeners, thank you for tuning in. I will be back next week, 3 p.m., guest TBD. But we've had a good Growing Pains week, so I've enjoyed all the people I've talked to. I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Goodbye, Bloomington.